A man is in jail tonight facing at least 17 charges, including manslaughter linked to dealing drugs.
Action News Jack's Jake Stofan joins us live downtown. And Jake, that manslaughter charge is tied to an overdose death this summer.
Well, and just this year, state legislators passed a new law making it easier to charge drug dealers with crimes like manslaughter and even first-degree murder, a crime punishable by death. This case is just one of many where prosecutors potentially stand to benefit from that change. JSO has responded to 400 overdose death investigations this year alone, and 470 last year. Today, 44-year-old Robert Graham faces at least 17 charges tied to dealing fentanyl and methamphetamine, illegally possessing firearms as a convicted felon, assault with a firearm, and manslaughter. Police say he's responsible for at least one local overdose death that occurred this summer.
Those who profit off the pain of those in our community struggling with addiction will be held accountable.
Assistant State Attorney Joe Locandro handles overdose manslaughter cases for the 4th Judicial Circuit. According to the State Attorney's Office, nearly 60 manslaughter charges tied to overdose deaths have been brought in the past 4 years. And Locandro says a change in state law passed earlier this year has made it easier for prosecutors to bring charges like manslaughter and even capital murder against drug dealers tied to fatal overdoses.
Prior to that, you had to prove that the drug, with many instances fentanyl, was the but-for approximate cause of someone's death. And when you have a situation where the victim may have multiple substances in their systems, it's very difficult for a medical professional to identify which drug is the actual but-for approximate cause of death.
Now, prosecutors only need to prove the drugs provided by a dealer were a substantial factor causing a victim's death. Action News Jack's law and safety expert Dale Carson says it's possible the change will result in prosecutors bringing more manslaughter or even capital murder charges against drug dealers going forward.
The change in the law essentially reduces the beyond a reasonable doubt standard to more likely than not.
And the change in the law does not only apply to overdoses that result in death. Dealers responsible for providing drugs that result in any overdose or serious bodily injury could be charged with the second-degree felony. That carries a maximum of 15 years in prison. For local coverage you can count on live downtown, I'm Jake Stofan, Action News Jacks.